This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you so much for that special music, Ray. Well, we have a few moments now for YTZ, Youth Time at Zion, and I've got a little story for you. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning and first open my eyes, I can't really see much. Everything is blurry and I have to rub my eyes and blink a lot, and eventually the blurriness goes away. But when my eyes are still in that blurry state, everything just looks like a blob in the room. I can see colors, but there's not a whole lot of definition to things. I might see a shape on the floor that I think is a sock, but after I rub my eyes and blink a lot, I look again, and that sock turns out to be maybe a stuffed animal. Well, sometimes we have trouble focusing our eyes, and we have to wait until we see clearly before we understand what's really happening around us. Let me give you an example. We know that God's love is all around us, everywhere, all the time. But sometimes we don't recognize it. Just like when I didn't recognize that the sock on the floor was actually a stuffed animal. Well, once when I was driving, I was stopped behind a person at a red light. And when the light turned green, I expected that we were all going to go forward. But the driver in front of me didn't move. That's what my eyes saw. A car with a green light that wasn't going anywhere. But I needed to wait until things became clear, because what was really happening was that the driver was patiently waiting for someone to finish crossing the street. The driver was taking extra care to make sure that the walker got across safely. And you know, caring for our neighbors is an act of love. Well, my eyes saw one thing. The driver just stopped even though the light was green, but I had to wait until things became clear, and then I could see God's love in action. That's just a little story about how important it is to keep our eyes always open, always looking around us for signs of God's love, even when it might be difficult and at first we might not exactly understand what we're seeing. So I've got a little song to help remind us to keep our eyes on God, to continue focusing on God. The tune is very familiar. The tune is He's got the whole world in His hands, but the lyrics are just a little bit different. We're going to sing, focus on God every day, focus on God every day, focus on God every day, and let God's love show the way. So we're going to give this a whirl, and we're going to sing it together to close our youth time at Zion. So here we go. Focus on God every day, focus on God every day, focus on God every day, and let God's love show the way. Now, I hope that'll stick in your ears and your mind this week, just as a reminder how important it is to keep our eyes open and keep our focus on God.
This the light of mine.